So we are going to start from where we left off yesterday, and that is migration from a local server to a live server. We're going to look at how to get domain name and how to link it to your host, and then finally moving your website from a local server to a live server. So the first thing that we're going to have to look at is domain name. Just log into my site that I was using yesterday here. So as that happens, the domain name is just the site identity of just the identity or the name given to every single site. Okay, every website has a unique name for identification and for search. So that unique name is broken down accordingly. Sometimes it's broken down to pages and links associated with that website. So how do we get a domain name? You can purchase a domain name. There are different platforms to purchase a domain name. Okay, so it's up to you on where to buy a domain name. Some of us already know these platforms. Some of us have already purchased domain names before. So it depends on what platform you are purchasing that domain name. Okay, I'm going to show you which domain platforms I use and why I recommend that. So the one I use is called Namecheap. Okay, namecheap.com. It is just name and cheap.com. So when you go to Namecheap, you just create an account and first you sign up. Okay. Once you sign up, you can be able to purchase a domain name by searching. Okay. You search for it and its availability, and then you can purchase it. So you will find out that on different platforms, domain names have different prices. Okay. So, for example, there is Namecheap, and I'm going to give another example of GoDaddy. If you've heard of GoDaddy, so GoDaddy is also another website or another platform that you can use to purchase a domain name. Like you can see, it's GoDaddy domain names, websites, hosting, and online marketing. So the first thing we're going to look at is finding a domain name. Okay, so so domain names do have extensions, and extensions depend on the purpose of the website. A .com is usually literally financial. If you are in business, okay, commerce. So if you're in business, it's a .com. If it's a company, it's a .com. If it is a school, it is usually .edu or .academics. If it is government, it is .go or .gov. For example, you will seen .go.ug or .go.ke. It's the government of Uganda or the government of Kenya. If it is a non-profit, or if it is an organization, it is .org. Okay, .org. So also the prices depend on what extension you're getting. Okay, so let me just try a domain name that I used to use way back in the day. So I check, first of all, a domain name, it depends on how long you'd like to pay for it. You can pay for it for a year, 2 years, 5 years. For example, this is the domain name I used to use a couple of years ago. You can see it says registered in 2013. Okay, so you can make an offer. This is already a taken domain name. Okay, it's mine. I already registered it. But then there are other extensions that are being provided. .net. .net, they say here it's $12, $12.98 a year. Then .org is $7. You can see that the extensions differ. The prices differ according to the extensions. .ai is $79. So currently, .ai extensions are the most expensive extensions. Okay, .ai, because you know what's happening with AI. There are several different extensions that you can look up. .div, this is a developer. .io is also automation. .tech, you can see all the extensions that are provided. .info, .live, .business, .fashion, .store, .blog. There are so many. Say Explore 400 plus additional extensions. Okay, there is so many extensions. Okay, so this is just an example, but let me use so I'm trying to come up with a random domain name that has never been registered. Okay, so that okay, this has also been registered before. Let me just use collaborate.ug.com. Okay, so you see that if I type in collaborate.ug.com, it is available. Okay, it says it's available, and it is $11.28 per year. Okay, collaborate.ug.com is available. Okay, so Collaborate Careers is a different extension. That's another price. Then .net.org is $7. You can see that $7.48 per year. So let me compare the same domain name on GoDaddy. You can see that on GoDaddy, they are telling you that it is the exact match. This domain name is available. It is $0.19 per year. Okay, so here it's $11.28 a year. Here it is $0.19 a year. But this is a trick. Okay, most domain websites do this. Okay, they are going to give you just for the first year $0.9. Okay, but under this there is a condition that it has to be a 3-year term. You see, it has to be a 3-year term, which means they are giving you $0.1 for the first year and $22.17 for the rest of the years. Okay, so it is up to you. You can choose the 0.19 for the first year, which is they're literally giving you the first year for free. But the second year and the years after, they are doubling or tripling the price, okay, of the domain name. So the next year you are going to pay twice. That is $22. If you look at Namecheap, they are going to give a constant price of $11. Okay, constant price of $11 for the first year, for the second year, for the third year. You know, and they're even telling you it is retail is 14 per year anyway, but they are telling you this domain name is only $11.28 per year. They are not tricks. They're not trying to trick you that the first year and the years after. Okay, so you can pay for 1 year, you can pay for 2 years, you can pay for 3 years, but remember the domain names are paid for annually. Okay, that means at the end of that period that you paid for, after that year, the domain name is expected to be repaid. Okay, so if you do not pay for that domain name in time, it is made available to the public. Okay, it's made available here. For example, if I paid for this collaborate.ug.com, and then by next year on the same date, they'll remind me within a week before it expires. They'll remind me that, you know what, your domain name is due. So please make the payment. That is if you don't have your card saved on here. If you do not make that payment, the domain name will be made available for someone else to pay and purchase it, and they'll be the owner. If they keep on paying every year, you will never own the domain name again. Okay, that's just how domain names work. So here I'm just demonstrating that I did have, if I can sign in here, so that okay, let me try this. I did sign in using email. Okay, sign in username password. Anyway, I'll get back to this later, but this one is pretty easy. You can sign in using my email. And correct username or password. Okay, like you can see here, domain renewal alert, you've got one last domain name expiring. So they will remind you that your domain names are expiring, you need to renew. Okay, So here I used to buy a couple of domain names using GoDaddy until I discovered that they actually give you the first year almost for free. But then the years after, they more than double the prices. Okay. So someone recommended to me Namecheap, and I've been using Namecheap ever since. Okay. So how since I'm already signed in here, let me just use GoDaddy for demonstration. Just give it a second. My internet is a bit slow today. I don't have power, so I'm using the backup internet source. That's why it's a little bit slow. So after purchasing the domain name, the next step that we do is hosting. Okay, hosting your website. Having your website hosted, there are a number of factors that you consider to choose a host. Okay, the space, security, the space that the host does provide, and then there is security. There is the pricing, and well, the rest you can do read through and find a favorable host. So WordPress has almost all hosts support WordPress. Okay, for example, the most popular ones, WordPress itself recommends 2 or 3 hosts. That is the WP Engine, and then SiteGround, and then if you do look at local in this part, where is it? Not blueprints, connect. You see where it says connect? It's trying to give you options for the WP Engine is a host, okay, WordPress hosting on the platform that powers more than the world's top 1 million WordPress sites. Okay, then there is Flywheel, also manage WordPress hosting with Growth Suite. So it depends on what your budget is. It depends on let us practically look at some of these hosts. So there is I do use SiteGround. Okay, this is SiteGround, where I have my website hosted, and I'm going to give you the reasons why I did choose SiteGround. So you can see all these WordPress websites that are hosted on this plan. Okay, you can see the dates that I added them from 2022. Okay, from 2022 all the way to 2024, I have been adding websites on here. Some of them are WordPress, like this one. This one isn't a WordPress website, but most of them are WordPress websites. Okay, so for example, if I look at SiteGround, so if I try searching that, there's some companies that have already run ads. There is Bluehost. You see what it says? Bluehost hosting starting at $2.9 per month. Okay, let's look at that. So Bluehost is also a hosting platform. Why Bluehost? They give you the features, WordPress hosting price. Then this is comparison between SiteGround and Bluehost, by the way. This SiteGround starts at 2.99.95 number of websites. This one starts with 1 website. This one starts with 10, and you know they're comparing here. And then here is their hosting platform or the plans. There is a basic plan that starts at $2.95 per month. What do you get at $2.9? They give you 10 websites. You can host 10 websites, and you can get over 10 GB of storage. You know, websites have storage capacity. So it depends on how heavy your website files are. Very large websites can have very heavy files. Okay, so it depends on how heavy your files are, and also how much media do you have on there, videos, pictures, and all that. That content is stored. Okay, so it makes up the storage. So they're saying that this $2.9 per month, you can host 10 websites, you can have 10 GB, you can have 100 concurrent visitors, sorry, ideal for 40,000 visits or more. So these hosts depend on also what kind of traffic they can handle. Okay, so this one can handle up to 40,000 visitors a month. This one can handle up to 200,000 visitors a month. Okay, this one can handle up to 400,000 visitors a month. There is a free domain for the first year for this plan. There is a pro email trial, and then there is a free site migration. There's free SSL, free all that. So these are different host platforms with different plans. So that is Bluehost. There is Hostigator. There is GoDaddy also does hosting, Hostinger and Hostigator, and then there is Bluehost, and then there is SiteGround. So you can see the questions: who's better than SiteGround? Namecheap. You can see they say Namecheap is better than SiteGround. I use Namecheap for the domain name, but I don't use it for hosting. So even Namecheap does hosting, by the way. So you can look at the plans and look at why. If you look at SiteGround, it is a web hosting company founded in 2004 in Sofia, Bulgaria. It provides hosting for over 3 million domains worldwide. Okay, it's managed all that. But I want to look at SiteGround and why I choose SiteGround. First of all, from looking at the services they do in SiteGround, you can access what we call code in JIT. Yes, I can see in messages someone is asking the key difference between all domains and the extensions. So you can go ahead and just do a little study on why on which extension to use for which particular website. Okay, but the main difference is .com is usually a business. Okay, it's straight to business. If it's a company, it's a company that is making money. Okay, that is their sole purpose. They're not trying to run a charity. They're not trying. It's a .com. Okay, and then for example, .net, it is just an online presence. Okay, a company that is on the internet. Okay, or runs programs on the internet. .org is usually an organization. Okay, non-profit or any other kind of organization. .edu is like a school or university. So those extensions are used. If it is a school that has the .com, it is fine, but it is straight to business. They probably have activities outside the education or academic field that they do run programs to earn from. Okay, but these extensions depend on what kind of organization, what is the purpose of the website. Okay, that .ai is maybe an AI company. And then Janet is asking, can you switch payment plans within a year? When you, for example, you realize you need to host more websites than you require. Yes, you can. You can switch from one. For example, you had 40,000 visitors. Your web traffic is much more than the host can handle. You need to upgrade to probably 60,000 visitors per month. Okay, so you can switch within. So I was explaining, I do use SiteGround because the plan that I use, I don't know what the notification was. I don't know if someone is trying to ask something. Or okay, Jody, you have your hand raised.
Yes, good morning.
Morning to you.
I was asking about what happened when your website reaches the maximum limit of visitors. Let me say you had 40K, then maybe 40K people have visited your website for a period of
Yes.
time. Then
So
maybe there's an extra person who want to visit. What happens to him?
no, so what happens with the web traffic when you reach the maximum number of visitors is your host will notify you. First of all, they cannot stop. Okay, they will notify you and they'll let you know that you've reached your maximum. And then they'll also let you know that they'll give you the options. You can upgrade to this. They will not stop the service immediately, even when you're over, but they will give you time and they will give you a plan to upgrade to. Okay, so that plan is up to you. So that when you upgrade, they give you some time to upgrade, maybe a week, maybe two, and then if you don't, then you're being stubborn. Then they can take their actions. Okay, they can limit to 40,000, so that once you hit the 40,000 mark in that month, they will always notify that, like you go to a website and someone cannot access it, and then someone else will tell you that, oh, but I saw that website yesterday, or I can actually see that website. And then the other person is like, no, it's showing an error. Okay, I can't view it. It's because you hit the maximum number of visitors and you did refuse to upgrade. So your host will notify you and they'll give you time to upgrade. So that's what happens. So I was saying why I use SiteGround. It's because I access my code. I can access it in Git. Okay, Git is an online repository where, think of social media. Okay, social media is where you go to post your day-to-day life. Like, hey guys, this is what I was doing today. This is who I was with. This is where I was. You know, post a picture or write an article. So Git is just that repository for developers. Okay, that's where we write our code, and you just keep on building on your code library, so that other developers can, for example, if you go for a job interview as a developer, they'll ask you for your JIT. Okay, If you don't have to tell them, oh, this is how good I am at HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Oh, I also know Python, and this is how. Just show them your projects on Git, okay? Show them your Git repository, show them your projects on Git. They can go through it and see if you're the best candidate for it, okay? So I can access Git, okay? I can, there is email, or you can see the domains. But there is much more to me as a developer on SiteGround than any other hosting that I've found. Also, their plans, at around $500, I can host. I have two. This is first of all sponsored by SEA. So we have I have a personal account, and there is this. But at around $500, I have an unlimited number of website I can host, and then there is email webmails. Okay, so first of all, let us look at, from hosting, we're going to look at how to move your website onto a live host, and then we shall look at some of the small things. So it is up to you. You can choose your host. You can look at the reasons. You can look at the plans. Also, the other reason I choose is security. I know all these websites are secure. If any of this get an issue, maybe one of those sites were hacked, or there is malicious or miscellaneous code in any of the lines, they'll tell me, they will email me, they will contact me and tell me which website is corrupted and in which line of code is it corrupted, okay? Or which plugin is causing an issue. This is why I choose SiteGround, okay? So migrating my website from a local host to a live server, I do use a plugin, okay? So what I do is I go to plugins. This is where we ended yesterday, and it's where we had to start, but I had to explain the essentials of hosting and domain names before we go ahead. Otherwise, once you move your website, you will be confused on how to choose a domain name, where to get it, and all that. So what I do is, first of all, I go to plugins. And then I go to add a new plugin. So the best plugin for migration is called WP Vivid. Okay. WP Vivid, just like that. Sorry, I'm just searching for it here instead of adding it. So I'm going to go to add a new plugin. There we go. And I will search for WP Vivid. So WP Vivid has no restriction whatsoever. So I'm going to talk about what the restrictions are. Just give me a second. So there we go. I activate my plugin. WP Vivid, you can write these plugins down, the ones that have been essential throughout. From choosing themes, you remember that one that we used, data templates. And then security, I did give in the notes there, essential plugins, must have plugins for security, for search engine optimization, for all this, okay? So once you activate it, you can see that WP Vivid is added to the menu of your dashboard right there. So it says backup and restore. You can back up your files, okay? Save backups to local or save backups to remote storage. So if you choose save backups to remote storage, it means you're going to just download them on your device. If you choose, remote storage means you're going to back them up on any cloud service that you have, whether it's Google Drive or FTP or Dropbox, any of this cloud. If you choose backup to local, it means it's going to back up on a local device, which is my computer. Okay. So what I do is I just open it up the way it is, and I click back up now. Okay. It's where there is backup now. I click on backup now, and it's going to start backing up my files. It's going to back up all the files of this website. Okay. You go to WP Vivid, install it, activate it, and click back up now. Okay. Ready to back up. Installation, zero running time is you just give it time. It requires some time to start backing up files. Okay, and any backed up files will be stored right here. Okay, you'll show the backup here. Okay, so you notice that there is backup and there is upload. Okay, so here you use this to back up the files. This, if you have backed up files and you're uploading them, you upload them from here. Okay, so checking my progress. So far it's 14%. So you give it time to back up the files. So anyway, once it's done backing up, I download the files. So downloading them, it will be still a zip. It might be one zip, it might be two zips. It depends on how big the website is. So it partitions the files and downloads them in different sizes, maybe 100 MBs and 200 and something MBs and all that. So it does download the files. It will still be a zip, just like you exported in local. Also, this plugin exports these files as a zip file. Okay. So once it is done, what we shall do, so the WP is this one, the first plugin that shows up, which says migration, backup, staging, WP Vivid backup and migration plugin. So you install it. After installing it, you activate it. And then there we can see its dashboard and how we can use it to export our site. Okay. So you remember how we talked about exporting a site from one local server to another. Okay, if I need to move this website from this laptop and I'm going to use a different laptop, all I do is go here, click here, and click export. I'll export the zip, I'll drag it and import it into a new computer. It is simple. Okay, moving it from one local server to another local server. Okay, so it's easy to move it from local to local. There you just export the raw files. Okay, here in local, you click export, then to export, then you'll do what? That is, this is simple, changing one from one local server to the other local server. However, changing from a local server to a live server is quite different. Okay, so you use a plugin to change from the local server to the live server. For example, I've been building this website, but it has only been live on my laptop. However, I want to move it to the internet. So what do I do? Once it's done, what I do is I purchase a domain name. Okay, I'm going to use this. I don't know why it's still so slow. My internet so slow at the time. So I purchase a domain name. Okay, after purchasing that domain name, by the way, you can also purchase a domain name from any of these hostings. Okay, for example, here if I'm adding a new site to be hosted, it says select a domain name. Is it a new domain name? You can register a domain name here, or you can use an existing domain name that you already own. Or is it temporary? Use a temporary domain, for demonstration. Then after some time, it will be terminated. Okay, so you select. I usually purchase my domain names from Namecheap. Okay, I'm going to use GoDaddy for demonstration, so that you can see this one expired. This one expired after a year. They expire and they make it available. Okay, so this one is still running. This domain name. So they're telling me my try any upgrade to premium services, but this domain name is still active. This one also expired. This one is still active. Okay. So once you purchase a domain name, what you do, you purchase the domain name from somewhere else, and you are hosting on a different platform. For example, I'm going to tell you, for those who are going to create their first websites, I will be hosting them for you for free. You don't have to pay for hosting. I will be hosting them for you for free. So once you're done with your website, install this plugin. Okay, after installing WPVV, export or backup, click where there is backup that website, and then after backing up, we're going to the next steps. We are going to download it, then purchase your own domain name from Namecheap. Okay, I don't know why, but let me just sign up another account from Namecheap. Let me just try and password. Okay, Namecheap. Prove I'm human, really? Okay, let me just So just create an account on Namecheap like that. It's better we practically do it than leave it open. So when I create this account like this, you can see I logged in on the 19th of December. The balance is 0, and don't worry about that. So I'm going to search for a domain name, which is Kolaborate UG, like I searched last time, .com. Then they will tell me it's available. Once they tell me it's available, I click add to cart. Okay, so it is adding to the cart, and then I proceed to check out. Okay, so while checking out, they'll tell me there is domain registration for a year. First year is 11.28, then the rest is $14, which is still fair, because there are other websites. GoDaddy was telling me the rest of the ads is 22.9. That is literally $23. That is twice as much as I'm supposed to pay. So they will tell you domain privacy, DNS, all these. Don't add any add-ons. Okay, domain privacy is enabled for free forever, but the rest of these add-ons, just don't enable them. Okay, your hosting does provide for that. Then they say web hosting, if you want to host with them, well and good. But in this case, I am providing the hosting for you, so you don't need this. Business email, do not include this. Search engine optimize, all this, don't include this, because the host does provide this. Okay, so from here, you will confirm your order. Once you choose your domain name, just confirm your order. And then you'll check out, you'll buy. I'm going to buy this. This is just for demonstration purposes. But to purchase, you need a card, a debit card or a credit card, as long as it's Visa, MasterCard, or any of that. Okay. You just continue the prompts to pay. Okay. Country is required. You just fill this in. Then you check out, just like you have bought anything online. You check out. But this does use, I think, Visa and PayPal and MasterCard and Apple Pay. I don't know what payment method you want to use, but you should have a card. Okay, set up, then bidding, then you order, then you buy. After you buy that domain name, it's the same settings like in any other of these sites where you buy a domain name. So since I have a domain name here, I'm going to use this for demonstration. Okay, so there is what we call name servers. Okay, since we are hosting it on SiteGround, SiteGround has what we call name servers. Okay, let me try and look up the name servers. Okay. So once I start adding a new site here, let's say it's an existing domain, I will just say okay. Let me try. I don't think it will accept because that domain doesn't exist yet. So if I say it's an existing domain, they're telling me this is an unregistered domain. So the name is currently unregistered. You want to register it. So I do, for demonstration, I need a real existing domain or something like that. If I click domain, new domain, they're going to tell me to pay for the domain name. Okay. But what happens is after I add it, they are going to tell me to change what we call the name servers. Okay. So let me just use one of these to demonstrate the name servers. So once I add this, your website or your domain name, you send me your domain name first, then I add it. Once I add your domain name, I get this kind of dashboard, okay, where I can install WordPress or email accounts or file managers or all this. So I will go down to what we call domain, okay, and choose DNS. The tool I'm looking for cannot be it cannot be showcased here because this domain is already hosted. But for a new domain, they tell you to change the name servers, what we call the name servers of that domain name. So if I purchase that domain on Namecheap and I want to have it hosted on SiteGround, I'm going to have to change its name servers. Let me use the domain that I already have hosted here so that I can demonstrate well enough. So this domain has settings. So once I go to that domain, where are the settings? This is the domain. It expires on 2025. Well, this dashboard has changed over time. I haven't used this GoDaddy for a while, and I'm looking for that particular setting, but it has changed over time. So just give me a second. I'm trying to look for where the name servers are so that I show you when you purchase a website, you change the name servers. Okay, and I can send you the SiteGround. It's right there, manage domain. So you have to look for a setting that says DNS. Okay, once you purchase your domain name, you look for a setting wherever you have purchased it. Have you purchased it on Namecheap? Have you purchased it on GoDaddy? You look for a setting that says DNS. Okay, and then under DNS there is DNS records forwarding and name servers. Okay, my name servers are the SiteGround servers, which is ns1.siteground.com. You can contact me and I'll send you the name servers. There are always two name servers. Okay, ns1.siteground.com and ns2.siteground.com. Once you do that, then you leave the rest to me. Okay, purchase your domain name and change the name servers. You contact me, I can send you the name servers for SiteGround. Okay, if you're hosting on another host, that host has name servers as well. So if you purchased on a different platform and you are hosting on a different platform, you have to change the name servers to the name servers of the platform that you are hosting on. Okay, for example, I purchased this domain name on GoDaddy, so I had to change the whole name servers from the ones of GoDaddy to point this website or this domain to SiteGround. Okay, so whatever that website is hosted on SiteGround entirely. Okay, so you always go where you have purchased the domain name, go to the DNS settings. You go to settings or under domain, it depends on their dashboard. Okay, so it might be in settings. Under settings, look at domains. Under domains, look at DNS, and under DNS, look at name servers. Do not worry about these name servers. You can contact me for the name servers. Okay, or you can even Google the name servers of SiteGround. So it will tell you the name servers of SiteGround are NS1 and this. There are only two name servers. Okay, so you have to point a domain to the servers where you're hosting. Okay, you bought a domain on a different platform, but you have to point it to the servers where you're hosting. And in this case, we are hosting on SiteGround. So you have to point that domain to SiteGround. How do you do it? By changing the name servers of that domain to the name servers of SiteGround. For example, if I change my hosting from SiteGround and this website is no longer hosted on SiteGround, I change the name servers to the name servers of where you can see. Initially, it was GoDaddy name servers, but I moved it. I'll use my own name servers. So I put the SiteGround name servers because I'm hosting my website on SiteGround. Okay, so by default, it is usually the name servers of where you have purchased it, but you have to change them to those of SiteGround to point the domain to SiteGround. So once you point the domain to SiteGround, what I do is I go to add a new website and I will go to existing domain. Then I will put that domain that you have. I'll just enter the domain that you have pointed to SiteGround, and then I'll do the rest. Okay. Once I add your domain to SiteGround, the first thing is adding your domain to the SiteGround. I'll go to the files that you've sent me. So you delete backup. You can see. I don't know why I don't see any backups stored here. I will refresh my page. I can see it succeeded to backup. Okay, here we are. So this is the backup. Okay, it shows that my website has been backed up. It has 169.46 MBs. Okay, so once I click on download, it will show me another zip here. Okay, it shows download, which is this zip. Okay, it says WPVB, it's a zip. That's zip. So I click download, and it will start downloading. It will start downloading my files. Okay, there we go. The files are over 169 MBs. So it depends on what's the size of your website, how much media is there, and how much content is there. So there we go. Mine has downloaded. So once you download this zip, you can send it to me. Okay, and I will add it. How do I add it? So I will go to SiteGround and add your domain. And after adding your domain, I will log into an empty WordPress, another WordPress dashboard, empty. After adding that empty WordPress dashboard that is not yours, okay, this is just empty. Once I add that empty WordPress dashboard or account or website, I install the WP Vivid plugin on that new website or new WordPress dashboard. Once I upload that, once I install and activate the plugin, I will go to upload. Okay, I'll click upload. You see where it says upload here? It will tell me to drop files. Backups will be uploaded here. So it tells me drop your files here. So what I'll do is I will select your file, the one you have sent me in a zip, like this. This is the zip that was saved. Okay. So once I download it, this is the zip. You can see it says Imperial Hotels.local WP Vivid plugin. Okay. So I will go to here and select the zip. Okay. So this one says already the backup folder already exists, so it cannot be. This is just the one I've exported. But the other one will be an empty WordPress dashboard, and I'm importing your site onto a live server. So once I do that, I will just upload that website. I just go, it says upload, it will upload it, and then I will restore. So once I restore, it will take me back to the page where you log in with your username and password that you created initially in local. So I will only send you that link so that you can log into your dashboard. Only you can log into your dashboard. Okay, and then that website will be added among these websites. You see where it says WordPress admin. I cannot log in. Okay, only you, the owner, can log in. That's why I told you the username and password are very important, even while creating from local, creating your website from local. It will be the same username that you used in local. It will be the same password that you used on local. Is that clear? So after I do that, I send you a link, just a link. Okay, it will give me a link up here, and I'll just copy that link and I'll send it to you. And you just click on that link and you can sign into your dashboard. You can make all the changes just like you have been doing on local. Okay, that is how you migrate a site. I didn't think it would take the whole session. So this is just how you move the website from a local server to a live server. Someone asked me, was it yesterday or I don't remember when? But first you choose a domain name, and then you choose a hosting. I am offering to host your first website, at least your first 2 websites, okay, for free. I'll not charge you. You don't have to pay for hosting. Domain names are cheap. They are $10, they're $15. They are, depending on the extension that you want. They can be even as low as $7. Okay, $7 is about what, 25,000, and that's 25,000 per year. And everyone does pay for a domain name. Okay, I don't know who gets that money, so don't ask me who gets the money for the domain name. I don't know, because once that domain name has been purchased on Namecheap, you cannot purchase it on GoDaddy. On GoDaddy, it will show you that that this domain name has been taken. It's already taken. Once you search for it, it will show that this domain name is taken. Okay, so when someone purchases your domain name on one platform, no one else can purchase it on any other platform. So my challenge is go and sit down and write, just write any, let me just, go and just start any website, okay? Identify a friend that needs a website. Identify an organization that needs a website, be it your church, be it your own personal portfolio website. This is my own website, okay? It is mine. It's just portfolio, talking about what I do, you know, how to contact me. It is just I bring my passion to web development, digital strategies, and education to positive impact. This is my own website, Okay, it's a portfolio website just talking about what I do. There you go. Israel, freelance full stack developer and director of innovation and all that. So you can read about my passion and the services that I provide and all that. Okay, that's it. Okay, just come up with a simple website. Okay, come up with a simple website, write about anything. Okay, this is a portfolio. You can write about yourself as a freelancer. What services do you want to provide, or do you already provide as a freelancer? It could be a website for your church. This is a simple website. Okay, I mentor. Just sit down and write up our website. It's the only way we are going to learn. Okay, menus, customizing menus. I did customize mine. This is WordPress, by the way. I did not sit down to code this website. No, I didn't code it. It is WordPress. But you can write up any website. Okay, practice. You can do any kind of website. I have done websites that I never thought I would ever do with WordPress. Okay, because traditionally to write up our website, we had to sit weeks and weeks to just code it until we discovered this one tool that does exactly the same work in days. Okay, in 2-3 days, you're done with a website that has over 60 pages. It has 7 menu items, and those menu items have like 10 sub menu items each. Each of this is a page that I sit down and write up this website in a couple of days, and I get paid. Okay, I don't even speak how much I get paid, but I do get paid. Okay, so Kolaborate is giving you a platform to do this, and I'm giving you a tool, I'm giving you how, and I'm giving you free hosting as well. So this is an opportunity for you, right? You put it into practice and write up our website and purchase a domain name like we have. After creating this account, purchase a domain name and change the name servers to SiteGround. After doing that, go to the website that you have written in local, upload the WPP Vivid plugin. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the other plugins because they have limitations. WPP Vivid is free. Even if your website is as big as 2 GB, it will partition those files and you will still be able to download them, okay, for free. Then you can, those who are asking about backup, you can see remote storage, you can back up your website on Google Drive. What you do is you just, connect your Google Drive account. So this plugin will automatically back up your files every day. And I think you said what frequency you want to back them up. Is it every day or every week or every month? Okay. So you can use it for storage and back up Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft, and all that. But mainly we use it for exporting from local to a live host. Okay. First of all, build a website in local, like we have done this week. Second of all, buy the domain name of that website on Namecheap. Okay, that is your own. I'm going to write this up as an assignment, but buy a domain name, write about yourself. Okay, just like mine is. It is simple. Okay, it's just my online presence as a freelancer. Buy a domain name on Namecheap. After buying the domain name, change the name servers to SiteGround, just like I have demonstrated. You can still contact me. I can guide you how to change. I can send you the name servers. After sending those changing those name servers, pointing them to SiteGround, contact me for hosting. You can pay for hosting, your own hosting. Okay, but I've told you the reasons as to why. The other reason that, let me just look for one particular. Anyway, let me look at this website. Why you choose your own host is up to you, and the reasons are all up to you. But this SiteGround, that email that I've been showing you, SCA at SCA, is under email accounts. Okay, you can see the email accounts that we have here. Then at SC8, info at SC8, this is mine. Okay, you can see that it has up to 512 MBs of pre-storage. Okay, so to create an email account, I will just put an account name here. Okay, oh no, I'll just go to create. Sorry, I'll just go to create. For example, I want to create Kolaborate. This is just an example. Kolaborate at sc8.org. I just go here and put the name here at sc8, and then I put the password of that email, and then I click create. All of a sudden, I will have an email account, just like this email accounts. You always wonder how there is people have email accounts. I mean web accounts, web mails. Yeah, web mails are like at UN, like. It is so unprofessional for me to introduce myself and I'm like, okay, I work with this organization, and then my email is at Gmail. You find that weird, right? You'd like someone to say, My email, I work with Kolaborate. My name is Israel. I work with Kolaborate. My email is Israel at Kolaborate, right? Israel at Kolaborate.com. It just attaches me to the organization. It's more professional. That is the use of webmails. Okay, I can have webmails, and then there is security here. Under security, there is HTTP enforce. Okay, if I don't enforce this, you wonder how some websites have HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, and then some have hypertext transfer protocol that is secure, which is HTTPS. So if this domain name or if this website does not have security enforced to it, it will warn the user that this website is not secure, it is not safe. I think we've all seen those warnings, and we shall look at them on safe online habits. Avoid websites that are not secure. Okay, if it is not, if the security is not enforced, avoid that website. So how do you do that? This host still does that. Okay, manage the HTTP enforce settings. I just click enforce for you, and that that website will be secure. Okay, and then I will also manage the SSL certificate for you, which is a security feature. It is encryption. Okay, so it is active, like you see here. My domain is encrypted. Let's encrypt, and the status is active. Okay, and it is encrypted up to, once I renew this hosting, the encryption will be renewed. Okay, so you can see speed. You can from caching. This enables me to, you can see it has been enforced. The speed, meaning my website loads up very fast. All the websites on this hosting load up very fast because the speed has also been enhanced by the hosting. The CDN boosts your speed and performance. You can, the basic one is here. It is free. The bandwidth is 10 GB for this website, and you can see HTTP is enforced and all that. And then what it doesn't cover is under the attack mode and cache duration setting and all that. But they will notify me when there is a security breach, and I will have to rectify it. But in this case, they will rectify that for you. Anyway, but these are the reasons why we choose. And then you can access. You can see under divs there is Git, which most hosts do not do this. Okay, they don't provide a platform for you to create a Git repository for your application or website, which you can later access, download, and edit multiple local branches. You will be able to easily deploy updates as well as compare differences between your local source code and your production or staging copies. So in case I need to continue with the code of this particular website, I can continue here in Git, and then there's others. Okay, I can manage the PHP of this PHP manager. You can see that there is the version. So this is why I use SiteGround, because it is wide. Okay, it has all these features that other hosts, you will try the other hosts, you try and search, but other hosts don't provide all these features. All they do is provide hosting, and that's it. Okay, no emails, no certificates, security certificates, no, they're limited, or they make you pay for some of these things extra. If you want emails, pay extra. Okay, so it's up to you. You can choose your own host that you want to use. But the thing is, go and practice, build a website in local. After that, export it using the plugin WPVV. Okay, after exporting it, buy a domain name on Namecheap or any other platform that you would like to. I recommend Namecheap for the reasons I've given. After buying the name, the domain name, change the name servers to those of SiteGround and send me that website for me to have it hosted. Okay. After I have posted it, I'll send you the link, and you can log into your dashboard anytime, anywhere. You can make edits while that our website is live. You can make edits, you can make changes instantly. Okay, we're coming to the end of today. So any inquiries, any queries, anything you need clarity on, kindly feel free. Now is the time. We have about 2 minutes to 10:30, and I would like to end at 10:30 for today. What if you don't have an existing domain name? Is it a different procedure? As an existing domain name is, you buy it, okay, purchase it. So that option for existing domain name is for someone who has already purchased the domain name from Namecheap, and now you have told me your domain name is this. So when you tell me you already purchased your domain name, I will go to add a new website, and I'll go to existing domain name because you have purchased it. Okay, so I'll click existing domain name, I enter your domain name, and I continue to host your website. That's just what existing domain name is. So I have gone really fast today. I had to finish. Okay, so we are done with web development from scratch, and at this point you should be able to build a website from scratch. build an entire website from scratch. Choose a theme, edit the theme to your own liking and wording, add menus, change the menus, customize the menus, practice it. So thank you so much. I'll come to the end of today's session, and we've come to the end of web development with WordPress, which we've all seen what WordPress is. We've all seen in some people do underlook it and all that, but let me just Google companies that have their websites built using WordPress. So you can see the websites that have the Microsoft News, PlayStation blog, Sony Music. They are very many, from news to tech to portfolio to personalities. So you can see from the sources across the web. Okay, Sony Music has its website built using WordPress. Microsoft, Disney, PlayStation blog, Bolt. We all know the Angry Birds character. We know BBC, America, CNN, New York Times, Flickr. It goes all the way to automobile companies, Toyota. These are There's very many, okay, from IBM to Facebook to Mercedes to CNN to BBC to Forbes to Time Magazine to Spotify, okay. All these have their websites built using WordPress. So if you think, oh, it's not worth it of a tool, you can see eBay, CNN, Forbes, Sony, it's Samsung right there. It's no limit. There's no limit to WordPress. UPS, Disney, Forbes, CNN. You can go through it. PlayStation. All these companies considered WordPress. Okay. So if you think it is less of a tool than writing down code, it is up to you. But it is a tool that is used by many Fortune 500 companies. If you know what Fortune 500 companies are, this is a tool that is used by many Fortune 500 companies, and it is that much of a big deal. Okay. So WordPress is also customizable, like I talked about in the beginning. That is why you can see 12 big brands using WordPress. There is Microsoft, Vogue, Toyota, Ubuntu, 007, Snoop Dogg, many, very many, even Snoop Dogg, many personalities use their WordPress for their websites, for building their websites. Of course, it's not them, the developers use that, and they have reasons why they developed that too. It's customizable. You can add your own HTML, you can add your own CSS. That's why we choose this, and that's why Cedric is going through HTML and CSS in the evening sessions, because you should have an idea of, in case you need to customize with code, what do I do? That's why Cedric is teaching the basics. But by now, you should be able to build a website from scratch. That is it for our class, our web development class. And hope it has been insightful. I hope we have all learned something. And my best advice is practice. Okay, just go and practice. Without practice, you will not know.